So for this exercise, the question says, for each of the following graphs not drawn to scale, first write down whether the gradient is positive or negative, then write down the gradient. So I don't have space, but I'm going to do it here in between my graphs. So what's my gradient? My gradient is m. Okay, what do I know about m? There's a formula. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and that equals the sum of y over the sum of x. Remember, that's theory, you have to go study it. Okay, when I look at 2.1, what do I see? When I'm looking, remember, I always look from the left, whether my graph is increasing or decreasing. When I look from the left, I see my graph is decreasing, so my gradient is going to be negative. Okay, then I have to work out the gradient. So in order for me to use this formula, I need 2 points. So that's touching my x-axis. I know on my x-axis, y is 0. So that point's going to be 3, 0. On my y-axis, x is 0. So that point's going to be 0 and 2. Do I have two coordinates now? Yes. So let's quickly write down the formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x. Okay. Then you can write down your coordinates next to it if that's easier for you. Then I work with these two first. So remember, that side's y, that side is x. Okay, so it's 2 minus 0 and 0 minus 3. 2 minus 0 gives me 2, and 0 minus 3 gives me negative 3. So my gradient is negative 2 over 3. I can see that because my graph is decreasing. Or the short way. Okay, when I look at the distance from 0 to 2, it is 2. When I look at the distance from 0 to 3, it is 3. But what do I have to add? Because my graph is decreasing, it's going to be negative. Okay, then 2.3. Now I'm looking at my line. Is my line increasing or decreasing? It is increasing, so my gradient is going to be positive. Okay, then I can get 2 points on my x-axis, y is 0, so that's going to be 3, 0. On my y-axis, x is 0, so that point's going to be 0, negative 1. Okay, then I write down my formula. And the 2 points. Remember, I can put anyone at the top, anyone at the bottom, it doesn't matter, you're going to get the same answer. Okay, so it's going to be negative 1 minus 0. 0 minus 3, which gives me negative 1 over negative 3, and it gives me 1 over 3. Okay, so for this one, if that one was at the bottom, I would have to put that in brackets. Okay, then moving on to number 4. So what do you see? This line isn't touching my x-axis, so special graph. No? So when I go look at my types of slopes, what do I see? When the line is horizontal, my gradient is 0. Okay, and that's all I write. Okay, then I continue. Now remember, I have to write the gradient for this one. So in order for me to write the gradient for the next one, I have to get 2 points. So remember, that's my origin. So it's going to be 0, 0. And here they give me 3 on my x-axis and y on my y-axis. They also give me 3. So then they give me those lines. But I would have known that I had to go draw a line there and draw a line there. And when those two lines meet, that point is 3, 3. Okay, do I have 2 coordinates now? Yes. So I can use my formula. Then I substitute into it. So if my points are, I'm just going to write it this side. So 3 minus 0 and 3 minus 0. That gives me 3 over 3, which gives me 1. Okay, and is it positive or negative? My line is increasing, so it's positive. Okay. Then I look at 2.11. Now I see my line is not touching my y-axis. It's only touching my x-axis. What do I know about my slope? When it's a vertical line, it is undefined. Remember, that's study work. You guys have to go study that. That's all I know. And all I have to do. Okay. Then, 2.12. So, now I don't have 2 points. So, I'm going to have to follow the short method. So, m is the sum of y over the sum of x. If you did the short method for all of these and you still got the same answer as me, that is fine. Okay, but 2.12 is my line increasing or decreasing? It is increasing, so it's positive. And then when I look at the gradient, y over x, is there a y value, is there x value? No, but they gave me a coordinate. So if I go draw the line, this side is x and that side's y. So if this is my x-axis, it's going to be a. And if that's my y-axis, that's going to be my y value, so it's going to be b. Then I ask myself, what's the distance between 0 and a? It's going to be, what's the distance between 0 and b? It's going to be b over, what's the distance between 0 and a? It's going to be a. That's all I got here. That's my final answer.